Hello, everyone. Today, I have an amazing story for you, not just for your listening practice, but also to inspire you. The story, titled Nothing is Free, illustrates how hard work and determination can transform lives. There was a young man named Leo, 20 years old, living in a small, quiet town nestled among the mountains. Leo had big dreams. He wanted to own a chain of restaurants and become a successful entrepreneur. But life wasn't easy for him. His family was struggling financially. His father, Mark, was a mechanic, and his mother, Claire, cleaned houses to make ends meet. Leo's younger sister, Sophie, was just 10 and looked up to him as her hero. One cold evening, Leo sat outside his small house staring at the stars. He whispered to himself, "I want to give my family a better life, but how do I start when we barely have enough to survive?" The next day, Leo shared his dreams with his father. Mark sighed and said, "Leo, dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. Start with what you have, even if it's small." Leo thought deeply about his father's words, and then an idea struck him. He noticed that people in his town loved fresh bread, but had to travel far to buy it. He decided to start selling fresh bread locally. However, there was a problem. Leo had no money to buy the bread. Determined, he took a chance and approached the bakery's owner, Mr. Anderson, a grumpy old man who rarely trusted anyone. Leo walked miles to meet him and confidently said, "Mr. Anderson, I want to sell your bread in my town, but I don't have money to buy it up front. Can you trust me for 1 week? I will sell the bread, return your money, and keep a small profit." Mr. Anderson raised an eyebrow and asked why he should trust him. Leo replied firmly, "Because I am determined and will work hard to prove myself." After a long pause, Mr. Anderson agreed to give him bread for 1 week but warned, "If you fail to pay me back, don't bother coming here again." Thrilled, Leo carried the bread back to his town early the next morning and set up a small stand near the park. He greeted every passerby with energy and a smile, saying, "Fresh bread, warm and delicious." At first, people were hesitant, but Leo offered free samples and soon had his first customer. By the end of the day, he had sold all the bread and made a small profit. That evening, he returned to Mr. Anderson and paid him back. The old man nodded and said, "You kept your word. Come back tomorrow." From then on, Leo worked tirelessly. He woke up at 4 a.m., walked to the bakery, carried bread to his town, and sold it with passion. After 2 months, he saved enough money to buy a small cart, making it easier to transport more bread. One day, a customer suggested, "Why don't you bake your own bread? You're good at selling, but if you bake, you'll make more profit." This idea excited but also scared Leo. He had never baked anything in his life. He realized that nothing is free, not success, knowledge, or growth. If he wanted to succeed, he had to take risks and learn. Leo decided to ask Mr. Anderson for help. The next morning, after delivering his payment, he said, "Mr. Anderson, can you teach me how to bake?" The old man frowned, worried that if Leo baked, he wouldn't buy from him anymore. Leo promised, "If I succeed, I'll make sure to help your bakery too." After some thought, Mr. Anderson agreed, but warned that baking takes time, patience, and hard work. The lessons began early the next morning. Leo arrived at the bakery at 3 a.m. before sunrise. Mr. Anderson showed him how to mix flour, knead dough, and bake it perfectly. At first, Leo struggled. His hands hurt, and his bread was often too hard or too soft. One day, after ruining another batch, Leo felt defeated and thought about giving up. But then he remembered his father's words, "Dreams are not free." Every mistake was a lesson, and giving up was not an option. The next day, he returned with even more determination, practicing every step carefully. Slowly, his bread improved. After 2 weeks, Mr. Anderson handed him a perfect loaf and said, "You're ready." Overjoyed, Leo rented a small oven and began baking bread at home. His family was amazed by his hard work. Sophie helped pack the bread, and Claire made tea while he worked late into the night. Soon, Leo wasn't just selling bread. He started making cookies and pastries too. People in town loved his products, saying his bread tasted better than anything they'd had before. But success wasn't easy. One day, a new bakery opened in town, run by a young man named Eric. Eric had a big, fancy shop with colorful signs and decorations. Curious, people started buying from him instead. Leo noticed his sales dropping and felt scared. What if he lost everything he worked so hard for? Instead of panicking, Leo decided to improve. He listened to his customers and asked what they liked about Eric's bakery and what he could do better. Some said Eric's shop looked clean and pretty. Others admired his cake designs. Leo realized he needed to grow not just as a baker, but as a businessman. Using his savings, Leo painted his cart, added bright decorations, and started offering free samples of his new pastries. He even learned cake decorating by watching videos at the library. Slowly, customers returned. One evening, an elderly woman told Leo, "I've seen many young men give up when times get hard. But you didn't. That's why we trust you." Her words filled Leo with pride. Months passed, and Leo's business grew. He saved enough money to rent a small shop, not as big as Eric's, but warm and welcoming. He named it Leo's Fresh Bakes. Every morning, he woke before sunrise, baked fresh bread, and opened his shop with a smile. His parents and sister helped. Sophie loved talking to customers, and Claire managed the accounts. But Leo knew this wasn't the end of his journey. He wanted to reach more people, make his family proud, and prove that anything is possible with hard work. Leo's bakery became the heart of the town. People loved his fresh bread, cakes, and pastries. Business was growing, and his family was proud. But life wasn't done testing Leo. One stormy night, as he was closing his shop, he noticed smoke coming from the bakery. He rushed inside and saw a small fire near the oven. Quickly, he grabbed water and stopped the flames, but much of his equipment was damaged. The next morning, when townspeople heard about the fire, some worried. "Oh, no. What will Leo do now?" Others whispered, "Maybe this is the end for him." Leo felt heartbroken, but not defeated. Standing outside his bakery, he said, "This is just a challenge. I've faced struggles before, and I will face this too. I won't give up." He took a deep breath and began making a plan. He calculated his savings and realized it wasn't enough to replace all the equipment. Fear crept in, but Leo remembered his journey. How he started with nothing but a dream and hard work. Instead of worrying, Leo asked for help. He approached Mr. Anderson, who had retired, and said, "Sir, I need advice." "What would you do if you were me?" Mr. Anderson smiled and said, "Leo, you already know the answer. You've taught yourself that nothing is free. Work harder, believe in yourself, and people will believe in you too." Inspired, Leo decided to rebuild. He didn't wait for rescue. He started baking at home again with the little equipment he had left. He told his customers, "I won't let you down. I'll keep serving you, even if it's just a small amount for now." The townspeople admired his courage. Many helped. Some donated ingredients, others gave money, and a few offered their time to clean and repair the bakery. Leo realized something important. When you work hard and never give up, people notice and want to help someone who helps themselves. After months of hard work, Leo reopened his bakery. It was better than ever. He painted the walls, added new decorations, and introduced new items like cupcakes and muffins. His customers were overjoyed. On the day of the grand reopening, the town's mayor came and said, "Leo, you are a true inspiration. You've shown us all that with determination. Anything is possible." Leo stood before the crowd and said, "I want to thank each one of you. You've taught me that nothing in life is free. Not success, respect, or love. Everything must be earned with hard work, patience, and persistence. Never let failure stop you. Every challenge is just a step to something greater." From that day, Leo's bakery didn't just sell bread. It became a symbol of hope. People from other towns started visiting to meet the young man who never gave up. Leo's story teaches us 4 important lessons. First, dreams are not free. They require hard work and sacrifice. Second, failure is not the end, but a chance to learn and grow stronger. Third, help yourself first, and when people see your effort, they will support you. And fourth, never give up. The darkest moments often come just before success. Leo didn't just build a bakery, he built a life full of purpose, respect, and pride. And so can you. Whatever your dream is, don't stop chasing it. Remember, nothing is free, but everything is possible.